This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, Cam.
What's up, O?
It could not
Happy
have
New
been
Year.
more depressing than watching that shit on Sunday, dude. That was as pathetic as it gets.
Yeah, it was a rough one, man. I think the players summed it up yesterday. I think Deshaun Elliott used they put the belt on us, which brought me back to my childhood. I was joking with people in the media room. I don't know what's acceptable in 2024, but I definitely had plenty of belt whoopings when things didn't go right for me. And
Belts,
I thought that was yeah. I got switches. You know, I don't know what happened in Miami, but I lived in Mississippi, and my grandma.
Mom hit me with whatever she had in her hand, bro.
Oh yeah. So yes, that happened to me too. But my least favorite was when my grandma had me go pick out a switch off the tree in the backyard, because you had to be strategic, but also careful. Because if I brought back too thin of a switch,
right,
then she was gonna go pick out a thicker one. And so I had to get a nice medium-sized switch with no extra on the branches. So just a little side note there, as I was hearing Deshaun Elliott.
Cubans don't do that. Cubans don't do that. They just hit you with whatever, bro. A cooking spoon, a broom, a belt, a shoe, a hand, the back of your hand,
right,
front, back, whatever was. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
She might have a K-Tel album in her hand, and she just breaks it on your head. Okay?
It's a different era, but it raised us how we are.
I'm way back in the time machine with a K-Tel album.
Yeah, absolutely.
That right there. You
Absolutely.
have no idea what a K-Tel album is.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, ask Mom. She'll tell you.
I will.
Did you buy an album, a K-Tel album? And she goes, of course, honey. We all did. Watch.
Right.
Anyway.
So yeah. They got their butt beat. You know, that's simply it. And I think this week, and I've had to recalibrate, because I think the initial feeling from Dolphins fans, and it probably still is for a lot, is like, oh wow, our season just ended in Baltimore. Like that is it. We got destroyed. What point is it to watch the rest of the season? It's going to be a waste, that sort of thing. And I get it. Baltimore was the big bad bully, and they pulled your pants down. They stuffed you in a trash can, and it's going to be tough to go to school tomorrow. But the reality is, you got a new challenge. You're not playing the Ravens this week. You're playing the Bills. The Bills are not the biggest bully in the streets. They are the bully of the division, but they are not the team the Ravens are. And so I would say that if you recalibrate this is a game the Dolphins can win. They are the underdogs, and I think they're rightfully the underdogs, given some injury stuff they got going on, given the way the Bills are trending upwards and they're trending downwards. But this is a game at home the Dolphins can win. But I will tell you, it's got a lot more difficult the way the Dolphins ended the season. They were up in the AFC by 3 games with 5 to play. And so this division was essentially in the bag, and they blew it. It feels like a September collapse. And they've got one game to – September collapse referring to baseball. But they got one game to sort of salvage it to avoid playing on the road to start the season in Kansas City, or start the playoffs in Kansas City. So
I personally have no hope for them this week. I think they lose badly this week. To be quite honest, the Bills have owned them, and they haven't shown me, especially the head coach, has not shown me that he can excel in these kind of moments. Unfortunately, even last week, bro, against the Cowboys, your absolute mistake in the first half of not taking that field goal became the difference at the end of that game. You had to drive in order to win that game. And if you didn't get that drive, you would have gone back to that 3 points and said you should have taken those 3 when you had it. And so this is one thing that I am saying now, and I've got the Dolphin Nation in an uproar here. You have volume up or something, because it sounds we're getting feedback.
You getting feedback on my end?
Yeah, is there is that what do you hear the feedback, Sean? Do you hear the feedback? Because I'm hearing it. So I'm wondering if it's coming out on air.
Gotcha. I don't.
Yeah, it's a speaker. I think you have us on speaker, so you're hearing O's voice. Like right now, you can hear me.
Oh, that's right. You got us on speaker?
I'm in the car, but I have you guys straight off my phone. I turned off my Bluetooth.
Oh, that's probably why. Yeah, we need your Bluetooth. That's probably what it is.
Okay. Let me turn the
So
Bluetooth back on. I was trying to avoid the echo through my car by turning off the Bluetooth, but I can turn
no,
it
I
back
think
on.
it's the other way around. I think it's
Gotcha.
the other way around. If you have the Bluetooth, then we don't have an. I think. But anyway, here's what I've been telling Dolphins fans because I've been at this for a long time. Okay, I'm starting. This is the start of year 34 for me. Okay. Mike McDaniel is now putting himself on the track to be on the hot seat. And this is what I mean by it. All the mistakes that he has made this year are the same mistakes he made in year one. And unfortunately, we live in a profession that they don't have 5-7 years for you to grow up and become pro. And I'm telling you now because I know what's coming. I'm not saying to fire him or make any changes because that's never going to happen. But I will tell you this. If next year is the same stuff, you can't win challenges. At times you abandon the run. You don't make good decisions. You don't take points when you're supposed to. You get players injured because you keep them on the field way too late in a game. Just all these things that have just happened constantly with him that while he's got a marvelous offensive mind, he understands quarterbacks and he understands the offensive line. The head coaching decisions leave a lot to be desired, unfortunately. And I'm telling you, I know what's coming. By the end of next year, if this is the same stuff again, doesn't matter if you make it against the playoffs, you're not doing anything. People will want him fired. And so this becomes a very pivotal time for Mike McDaniel, not just for how he finishes here, but how he coaches next year, because he cannot continue on this path. Even with some success, he still cannot continue on this path. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. I will say that I think that a little bit of this is overreaction, in my opinion. I think Mike McDaniel's a good coach. I think that he's the right coach for this team. I will say this: he's not perfect, and I think some of this is that he got overwhelming praise over the first half of the season of this, him being this revolutionary coach, and he's doing this and that. That I think you're seeing some elements where he's made some mistakes. I think keeping Bradley Chubb on the field up 30 was a mistake. Now, he didn't get him hurt. Injuries happen in any capacity. I think it's unfair to blame the injury on him, but I will say that it's his decision as decision maker, and you can put that on him. You can put some challenges on him. You can put his run pass balance on him. There's definitely some things that he could do better as a coach. But I will say that he has helped Tua and this offense and this team be in a better position than they have been in 20 years. Now, I get the frustration. Frustration. As Dolphins fans, all you want is to get to that Super Bowl, get over the top, win the playoff games. And until he does that, he's not going to answer all of the questions you need. And so I get that, but I'm not of the belief that getting rid of the coach every time things don't end in a playoff win.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
But I get you. I get your thought though. That there is reason to critique.
Hold on a second.
In some elements.
If he continues to not win challenges, can't win big games, continues to make bad decisions. Give you another example. This past week, brother, you don't go for 2 points when you're down by 20-something. At that point, you take the 1 point. And then later on, when you can cut the deficit, then you start attempting the 2 points. Bad coaching. Now you put yourself deeper in a hole when you need the points, just like last week with the 3 points. So if you keep making bad decisions all next year and you can't come through in the big moments with the big games, you still think he will not be on the hot seat at the end of his third season?
I don't know. I don't think so. But we're also a year away from that. Like we're planning a year ahead. But
But, but,
no, to answer
but I
your
can do
question,
that.
no, I do not think
I
Mike
can.
will be on the
I
hot seat.
can do that because he didn't improve in his game day decisions from last year to this year. He's still a disaster. When he gets punched in the mouth, there's no counterpunch.
I
None.
think that
He's an
here's
entire
what I
year.
would say.
He
Here's
needs
what
an
I
entire
would say.
year to counterpunch the Chargers. An
Here's what I
entire
would say. I know this league, we have to make a big take or a big overall view after every season, right? I said this clearly at the start of the season. If the Dolphins don't win a playoff game, this season's a disappointment. That was my only parameter. That's the season. I don't care if you win 13 games and lose a playoff game, win 9 games and win a playoff game. To me, winning a playoff game was a parameter given the season. Just one. I don't have super high expectations. I'm not going to tell you a Super Bowl, but to me, they've got to win a playoff game for this season to be considered a success. And I think that Dolphins fans at 9-3 started to see Super Bowl as a vision, which is okay because they did look like a Super Bowl contender then. And to see them collapse at this stage is starting to feel like all your hopes and dreams crumbled in front of you. And so you need someone to blame for that. And Mike's the one because the reality is Tua has not been the reason they've lost these games. And so usually your quarterback or your coach get the blame. And when you get 52-19, it's got to be on your coach or whatever the score was, 56-19.
Coaches, because
Fangio
was not good.
And Fangio, yes, Mike Fangio, all of those guys, right? But my thing is, when you look at this full frame, he's put the team in a better position.
Crossman,
yes, that's a given.
By the way, that's another bad decision on his part, bringing back Crossman. Terrible decision on his part to bring back Crossman. That was just, I'm telling you, this is the prediction. I'm telling you, if he does not improve his game day, watch by the next season,
I hear you.
He will be on the hot seat. Do you know why? Okay, I'll give you another one. Has he underachieved this year?
I think it's yet to be seen. I would say that I don't think we can say that he's underachieved.
Brother, the Tennessee game makes you an underachiever automatically.
Every team's got a bad loss.
Okay, but that's what puts you in this hole now against Buffalo.
Right. I understand. You win the Tennessee game, you have the division locked up. But the reason why I say it's yet to be seen is if they come out and beat Buffalo and win a playoff game, it's a success to me.
Yes.
And so that's why I say it's yet to be seen. If they go out and lose against Buffalo, lose at Kansas City in round 1, then yes, I say that's a disappointing season. But we can't write the book without it being played.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying that if it ends that way and it goes into the next season, trust me, by the end of next season, fans will be calling for his head. You, along with the rest of the media, will be calling for his head, and me too. And then the front office is going to say, man, we've given this guy the talent, and he's not getting it. He's not getting it done. He's not figuring it out. He's not getting us over the hump. And that's going to be the problem. That I'm just telling you, it's kind of what I already see because too much of what happened last year happened again this year. And by the way, here's the twisted part. While I give them pretty much no hope this week against the Bills, I actually think they got a shot against Kansas City. Believe it or not.
Kansas City is not the same Kansas City.
Right.
They're not the same Kansas City, but they do still have the same Patrick Mahomes.
They do, but Patrick Mahomes doesn't have help. And
that's true.
So if you bracket, apparently Kelsey's getting more human too, so he's not really the guy. And if you just put Jalen Ramsey on Rashee Rice, what else do they have? You know what I'm saying? So I actually think in a twisted way they got a shot again. I mean, Tyreek lost the game against Kansas City all by himself, actually. Gotcha. You know what I mean? So it's twisted. Like, I don't think they're going to win at all. But next week against Kansas City, I actually think they're going to suck. It's weird.
I will say this. I think Buffalo is rightfully the favorite. But I would not be shocked. I know that it's doom and gloom. But I will say this. I would not be shocked if Miami wins this game. I think they're playing at home. Their backs against the wall. Their mantra all season has been adversity as an opportunity, right? This is your adversity moment. You're down injuries. You're down hope from a lot of people outside of the building. It's doom and gloom. Can you step up and win this game, win your division, and host that playoff game? You're probably hosting either Pittsburgh or Buffalo in what would be a winnable game at home the next week. I got a funny feeling that this team is going to show up. I know there's not a lot of I know there's not a lot of reason for optimism given how they played against the Ravens. Trust me. I know.
No. By the way, you also have zero facts. Zero.
I have zero facts. How do I have zero facts?
They've never done this. They don't do this.
They haven't, but they have not been in this opportunity.
They don't do this.
At home with a chance to win the division, they have not had this opportunity yet.
Oh no! I've seen them. I've seen them lose
in the McDaniel era. In the McDaniel era.
No, not in the McDaniel era. But
right, I can't. I'm not including Dolphins teams from 5-10 years ago. And this Dolphins,
I get it.
New Dolphins team. I think that Tua and the Dolphins are going to show up. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but I think they're going to show up and play one of their best games of the season.
Actually, it's not a new Dolphins team. It's a new Dolphins team in the sense of the front office and talent. It's the same Dolphins team. It chokes in the big moments.
We will see. We will see. They could prove you right.
Dallas is kind of a choking team themselves, so it's kind of but this Bills one, even under McDaniel, they haven't shown that they can really win this game often. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. There has not been a lot of evidence this year that the Dolphins can win these big games. Dallas is their only one, and like you said, you don't consider that a true win. I consider that a true win.
It's a win, but it's like Dallas is. That's the team.
Dallas is going to be the 2 seed in the NFC. They're going to be the 2 seed in the NFC. So I get it. It's not Baltimore. It's not Kansas City. It's not Buffalo. But it's Dallas is a really good win, and so Buffalo would be a really good win. I think they've got it in them. We will see if they do it. Josh Allen's got their number, so they're going to have to do something they haven't done. But I think that the doom and gloom, the season's over. I think we put that on a hold for just a little bit. I think they've got 1 or 2 more punches left in them.
Yeah, I think it might be, but it will be against Kansas City, not against this team. Unfortunately, I just have a hard time believing it. All right, do they get Hunt back? Do they get Baker back?
I think you'll see Hunt back. Baker will be interesting. I think he's trending towards that way too. It's a knee, so we're going to see him off for 4 weeks. How does he move? He's been doing some stuff off on the side of the field, but not heavy stuff. But it's an all hands on deck game. Like you're playing for the division. I don't think you'll see the conservative nature that you may have seen early on in the season because this is the season. So my guess is that you'll see both Robert Hunt and Jerome Baker play. Obviously, no Xavier Howard. Tua will be up. I think you'll see Rheaume as well.
X played his last game for the Dolphins?
I think you'll see him in the playoffs.
Oh, okay. So you think he'll come back for the playoffs? All right. So then it's not that bad. Did you see him walking around?
I think it'll be a couple of weeks. And so I think he'll be on the borderline for that first game of the playoffs. But again, I think playoffs, you make it work. It's not a surgery deal. It's not something that they consider season ending. And so he's not this week. I think next week's going to be how much can you move around more than anything. And so I think you're looking at I think from what I understand, this is maybe a 2 to 3 week kind of deal injury wise. And so 2 weeks will put him first week of the playoffs. 3 weeks will put him the second week of the playoffs. So I think he might be on the borderline. And knowing X, I think he wants to be out there.
Let's hope so, man, because they need it badly. All right, follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolfe. Catch his work there at the NFL Network. Cam, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. All right, man.
There you go, Cameron Wolfe. Call our friends at KSDT CPAs. Use that QR code that's there for your personal taxes, your business taxes. They can help you. They have a crypto department also. So if you have crypto, you're going to have to file your taxes. So make sure you talk to them about that. Check it out. reach out to our friends at KSDT CPAs, 305-670-3370. Also, they are hiring. They've got offices in Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties, and brand new office in Charlotte, North Carolina, as they continue their expansion. So if you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach, you can check it out there. KSDTCPA.com.